What are we trying to get people to know? One, this is an American product that doesn't have to be imported, most importantly, that is ready right now. One of the reasons that I left U.S. Telecom to come work for ANGA, because Obi was right, I actually was just fine where I was because no matter how important broadband deployment is, and as I've said, it is excruciatingly important to this country, when I look to see if you're going to be a person who operates in and around Washington, D.C., and the politics of Washington, D.C., and you actually believe in wanting to make a difference for the country that you live in, and you can use whatever God-given talent you've been given to talk about an American product that's right here that could literally change the geopolitical structure of this country and the world. It really doesn't matter whether you believe in climate change or not. It does burn cleaner. It is ours. And we can use it to make life better for people all over this country right now. Message number 2, that we want to make sure that we are committed to safety. And no matter how much you want to hate the government and hate regulators and hate it that you're in their business and hate Voldemort that he's there, he's there, he's there. So how is it that we can work together to figure out how to talk with people all over the country about why this natural gas extraction process is important to them, and what we can do as an industry to make sure that we are committed to safety at all levels. Because one thing that Bruce said that I want to reiterate, this administration, whether you like it or not, is committed to this issue. 2 weeks ago, people said President Obama was going to fail on health care and that his presidency was doomed on health care. His presidency may still be doomed on health care. Whether you like the bill or you don't like the bill, they got the bill through. Whether you like the way they did it or you don't like the way they did it, the bill is through. And while we were sitting here, the President of the United States signed that bill into law. We have to deal with that constituency. And we have to come together in a way to figure out how do we talk about this process and what are we willing to do and what should we ask them not to do to make sure that that God-given natural resource that we just spoke about is ready for use here in this country. So that was message number 2. Message number 3 is simply where I started. That there are a lot of people, I believe, that don't know a lot about your industry, who are more than willing to stand up for it if they know what it is and what it can do. And so that's what my job will be at ANGA, is to try to help work with all of you to create those constituencies. You see what's happening on the bill with Carrie Graham-Lieberman. We can have a debate about whether that goes anywhere politically. But the reason that that process is important isn't whether a bill will get to the floor or not. You have some political pundits saying, oh, it can't because of health care and the midterm elections and where people are politically, and that's probably all true. And then you have some people who say, well, yeah, maybe it can. Because there are enough folks. 22 senators yesterday signed a letter asking the administration to put its efforts behind this. And then you have an EPA who, whether the administration decides to run something through legislature or not, they're still the EPA. Which makes the Carrie Graham-Lieberman, the Carper 3P bill, all of those pieces of legislation that are sitting out there so important. Why? Because we have to be part of the dialogue. You can either participate or you cannot. Do you get everything you want in participation? No. Do you get anything you want by not participating? Absolutely. So One of the things that we are going to try to do is make sure that this industry is involved in those talks. Whether the bill goes anywhere or not, it will be a foundation for future discussion. And when this Congress goes home, and however it's reconstituted when it comes back, whether it be still purely Democratic or down the middle Democrat, Republican, or whether it goes all Republican, my good friend Ed Gillespie, you all heard from Karl Rove this morning. Karl and Ed work together in the White House. Ed's doing some work for all of you now. My good friend Ed Gillespie said to me last night as I was traveling here, he said, "This is an issue that can make a really big difference in this country. And I honestly believe that a lot of Republicans are going to get elected. Maybe we can actually do something with that." Ed Gillespie's working really hard to make that happen. Those are the things that need to get done. 1, send the right message. 2, be committed to working within the process. And 3, reaching out to those new folks. I call it, you gotta have friends, to help us spread that message.